Time to make some new rules. Cheesehead Rules. The Talking Cheeseheads. On the air and on cheeseheadtalk.com.
Yes, we've reached the point of the show where it's all about the rules we need to make, and there are a few of them this week because, unbelievably, and I can't believe they have to be new rules. They should be just common sense rules, but hey, that's why we're here, right? So, without further ado, we'll get underway with the purpose of what we're here to do on this Tuesday, as we are every Tuesday, and that is establish some Cheesehead rules. Okay? Very, very important that we get these out there and establish them. Otherwise, things tend to fall apart. So, I start with, again, I can't believe this isn't already a rule, but here we go. If you have a player who has an issue with substance abuse, and let's say at 7 in the morning has a blood alcohol level of 0.15 while he's driving, the first question you ask yourself is not how good of a pass rush can he put on Andrew Luck this weekend. The first question you ask yourself is, what's the best rehab facility to get said player who also admits he needs help into and not treat him like a piece of meat, throw him out on a Sunday against the Colts, right? Does that ring a bell? Or, I don't know, set a good example for the kids in your community. At least have some sort of conscience. I'm talking to you, Jim Harbaugh. Okay? You need this rule because your moral compass is what the kids call whack. All right? Seriously. All right. Cheesehead rule, new rule. On 4th and inches, let's try a quarterback sneak next time. Okay? Not give the ball to your only running back who's, 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing. Okay? And try and have him get the first down. Even if Jonathan Franklin does not fumble the football, he's probably not getting the first down. How about just snap the ball, duck in behind your center and guard, and move your feet and try and get 2 inches? Probably very doable, right? I know you fear injury with quarterbacks. First of all, Aaron Rodgers had been hit in the head and he'd been hit in the knees in this game and escaped injury. So, track record pretty good. Secondly, I actually have never seen a quarterback get hurt on a quarterback sneak. Now, I'm sure it's happened, but I've never seen it, and I've seen a lot of quarterback sneaks. So, small percentage of time it happens. It's not a very dangerous play. The guy's protecting himself, tucking the ball in, and sneaking. He's not going to jump over the pile. He's just going to try and get a couple inches, honestly. All right, new Cheesehead rule. Stop listening to Scott Boras. Okay? I'm talking to anybody in baseball, probably besides players who get a ton of money. That's fine. But teams like, say, the Washington Nationals, who shelved Steven Strasburg last year and really essentially pissed everybody in baseball off, and for good reason. They got what was coming to them last night when they got eliminated from playoff contention, because they were going to be the greatest team in the history of baseball the next 10 years just by resting Steven Strasburg, and not even doing it in a creative way, but shutting him down late in the season. It backfired then. It backfired this year. Good. It should. Scott Boras, stick to actually just negotiating contracts. You're very good at it with your players. And teams, really, you're enabling him. You're an enabler. Stop it. All right, new rule, I should say. The Brewers need to hypnotize their starting pitchers that it's September and that they're out of contention. Okay? Willie Peralta, Tyler Thornburg, Marco Estrada, Giovanni Gallardo, they're all having great Septembers. The latter half of August Septembers. They're all really, really good right now when the team is out of contention and it's late in the year. So let's just brainwash them somehow. There's got to be a trick you can pull, Milwaukee, to have them assume that right from the start. Because I'd hate to think that what's going to happen next year is they're going to come back and be crappy again, but that's probably what's going to happen, right? So let's figure it out. Because honestly, this is a bit ridiculous. But they're really good right now. All right. Finally, new rule. Media people have to actually come up with solid reasons and sources. I know I'm really, really stretching it here. As to why a quarterback and his coach aren't getting along. It can't just be a frustrating situation on the sidelines where they have 3 seconds of words followed by about 5 minutes of good, calm conversation on the sideline and assume that there's some sort of rift between quarterback and coach. Okay? Who was even talking about this yesterday? It was rightfully so asked after the post game about McCarthy and Rodgers on the sideline, but that's it. I mean, maybe they're not the best friends in the world. Who cares? They're fine. They had a little blow up at each other because it was a frustrating situation. Who wasn't frustrated, if you're a Packer fan, with their inability to score off 4 straight turnovers the way that they had an inability to score off 4 straight turnovers? They had a little bit of some words on the sideline, and then right away afterward they talked it out. Like, I don't know, adults who respect each other. So stop it. Every time. Oh, my God, the rift, the schism. No. Then there's this rift and a schism. It's like when those 2 coaches for the Oilers started punching each other. Buddy Ryan and who was the offensive coordinator? I don't know. I don't care. It was a long time ago. But that's how you know there's a schism, right? Seriously. All right, those are Cheesehead Rules for the week. Glad you could join us for them. We're the Talking Cheeseheads. We'll come back and wrap up the hour. Also, Rob Reichel joins us next hour from the Packer Plus. We'll ask him about the schism, and we'll talk with Justin Hull as well and continue the conversation. That's up next. We're the Talking Cheeseheads.
The Talking Cheeseheads on CheeseheadTalk.com.